Yo, what's going on, man? Today is August the 25th, and this is the ChrisBeCappinn WNBA show for today. We only got two games on the board on this beautiful Sunday morning that we'll jump into. We'll also get into a quick recap, and we'll go through a couple of the comments as we always do. I was just laughing because I was checking out some of the comments as the intro video was playing. I'll get into them in just a second, but let's just jump into it, man. Hit the like button for me if you can on your way in, share the show, all that good stuff. I made one play yesterday. There's a couple things that I was looking at. Liberty team total over. It was one of them nights in the WNBA last night. They get blasted by Connecticut, shoot the ball poorly, turn the ball over. I think they had more turnovers than points, more turnovers than assists. And the other play was Indiana team total up and over that I was looking at. That was a loser. I ended up playing New York at halftime minus the 3.5, and that was also a loser. They lost the game outright to Connecticut, first loss of the season, even with the Connecticut Sun on the second leg of a back-to-back yesterday. So WNBA continues to treat me pretty poorly after winning on Friday night, taking an L last night. So looking to get back on track. It's a couple plays that I'm looking at for today, and I did place a future bet that I want to jump into as well and share with you guys. Just kind of over the last 2 hours, kind of looking through some things and found something that I really like, and I got to the window with. So I'll share that with you guys in just a second, and we'll discuss the two games that we got on the board for today. This was actually the comment that I was looking at before while I was doing while the intro video was playing. Big Zan says we may need to go back to the old intro beat because the WNBA is getting tricky. It's like the season started over after the Olympic break, and now we got to learn all the teams again. I think we saw this type of inconsistency at the beginning of the season as well, though, Big Zan. This don't got anything to do with the Olympic break, in my opinion, but I mean, it definitely has has its I guess I would say WNBA just had their moments, man. They definitely had their moments. What up to my guy, Justin? Appreciate you for tapping in as always. What's up, Marquis? Says rise and grind, people. Another 3-0 night last night. He took Caleb McBride points, which we talked about yesterday. 3-pointers over in Connecticut first half, plus the 4.5. 6-0 run last 3 nights. Somebody making some money in the W. Shout out to Marquis in the chat. Ricky says, what's up, Chris? Good morning, my angel. Gonna cash over her 13.5 rebounds today. I don't know, man. I don't know about today. Could she? Absolutely. She's been on a rebounding tear. But someone tell me the Aces take this game serious today. And after getting out-rebounded by Nafisha Collier, the whole team, by just one player out-rebounding your whole team, I think that they take it a little more serious today. What up, PZ? Says top of the morning game. Chris, your breakdown on the Lynx first half saved me some coin. Made an adjustment, took Lynx first quarter and cashed. Yeah. I think the other part of the cap that I don't think I looked too deeply into was, they retired Maya Moore's jersey. I didn't think that Indiana would look that terrible either, though. But they retired Maya Moore jersey. That meant a lot to the Lynx, man. When they pulled up to the game I was watching, and you just see all the players had Maya Moore's jersey on. It was a big Maya Moore. They rock with Maya Moore, bro. Fee had her jersey on. Courtney Williams had her jersey on. I think who else was it? It was a bunch of them. 3-4 of them had her jersey on yesterday before the game. With you right here, Mark says got smoked yesterday, bouncing back today. Truth System says like the video, appreciate that. What up, Bitsy? Over the total Aces and Sky, Christian says. We're going to jump into it. What up, Joe? Prestigious Prodigy in here as well. Ball Talk says, what up, gang? Take Georgia Tech on the money line. Yesterday, it says he lost with the W, though. Right when you think it's sweet, you get humbled. That's a fact. That's a fact for sure, Justin. Let's think... Let's look into the games that we got on the board for today. Like I said, it's only 2. Make sure these lines are updated. I feel like they are. Let's see. So we got So yeah, they are. They're the Aces and the Sky is coming down. It's about 169, and the spread is moving towards them +9 now. This actually opened at 7.5 when I was looking at it yesterday. This would be a 12 o'clock start time game too on the East Coast, Eastern Standard Time. So money coming in on the Aces. It continues to come in on the Aces. I mean, it came in on them in the first game against Minnesota at home. Came on them in the first game, flipped them to a favorite in Minnesota, and now it's coming on them again. This line has moved 1.5, almost 2 points in favor of the Las Vegas Aces on the road today. And like I said, the total coming down just a tad bit as well. So if we look at the game, we got the Aces coming off 1 day's rest. This will be the 5th game for them after the Olympic break, and they haven't covered a number. The Aces are 0-7 against the number in their last 7 games, and they've lost a couple in a row as well. And I was kind of going through the numbers this morning when I first woke up, and I was like, what is it that, is really hindering the Aces so much? And I should also say that, not to get too far ahead of myself, nobody's on the injury report for either team. It's pretty much clean injury report for both. So I look at the Aces. They've always had their deficiencies. They've never been a really good rebounder team. But the things that they do well at, they do really well at. But if you look at them just since the Olympic break, they're the worst offensive rebounding team in the W. They're the worst overall rebounding team in the W. And they have the worst assist percentage in the W. That's the tricky part, because with Chelsea Gray out there and everybody is so unselfish on the team, they're just not making shots. Like, worst assist percentage in the W really stood out to me when I was looking into the numbers. Luckily for the Aces, they're playing a team that is not the Liberty or that is not the Lynx, because they've been getting smoked recently, and it's been to really, really good teams. They've been a lot better against poor teams than they've been against good teams this season. So teams that have a losing record, they've been doing their thing. I think they're 11-3 straight up, and they've been covering more of those games than the games that they've covered against the good teams. I think they're 4-7 straight up. So Aces should bounce back in this spot, in my opinion. I look at the Chicago Sky. You see them coming off 1 day's rest. This is not the 3rd straight home game. I'm not sure how I didn't change that. This will be their first game back home. So they should have, they played on Friday. So it should be 2 days rest. And then first game back home after a brief road trip where they went to Connecticut, almost won that game outright, but ended up losing it, of course. And all of the other stuff is up to date for the Chicago Sky. 11-17 straight up, 12-16 against the number. And, we talked about this a couple games ago. For whatever reason, the Chicago Sky don't play as well at home. 4-9 straight up, 4-9 against the number. So when they don't cover, it's typically on the road. We just made some money with them fading the Connecticut Sun on Friday night. But is that on Friday? That was on Friday, right? So it's not 2 days rest, it's 1 day's rest. Okay, so both teams coming off 1 day's rest. All right. So I look at the thing about the Sky that really stood out to me when I was looking into the numbers is their offense really, really sucks, man. The Chicago Sky, since they traded Marina Mabrey, I think they played like 3 or 4 games. They're averaging the second fewest points in the W at just 76 per game. And they're the only team, and the only team averaging less is the Sparks. And the reason why they struggle to score the basketball is because they can't shoot. They're making less than 3 threes per game, which is by far the worst in the WNBA. That's worse than the Wings. That's worse than the Sparks. That's worse than the Mystics. And they're shooting 21.6% from the 3-point line. I don't think that number is going to magically get better against the Aces team that's lost 2 games in a row and really, really needing a pick-me-up type game. I think the Aces dominate early. I think they stick it to the Sky. And it's not really based off a lot of trends. It's just honestly based off listening to Coach Becky Hammond after the post-game interview. I just worry. The thing that worries me and the reason why I haven't played the game is because you got a major rebounding advantage here for the Chicago Sky. We know that that's the only way that they score the basketball. If it's not Kennedy Carter, it's Angel Reese off the rebounds. Cardoso's been playing a little bit better as well. She's gonna have her hands full with Asia today, but that's the only way that they're really scoring the basketball right now is in the paint. And the Aces don't have a lot of size, a lot of length down there outside of Asia Wilson. It's difficult, man. It's difficult. I really want to get there with the Aces early. I think first half is probably the better play. I could see this guy kind of being scrappy and keeping it close, trying not to get blown out in the second half. And then you also got to remember, this is a revenge game. Last thing I wanted to mention here, revenge game for Aces. They were laying 13 points right before the Olympic break and got smoked in that game. Ended up losing by double digits. That was the game Kennedy Carter went crazy. Marina Mabry was also on the team then, though, and she's not playing right now. So she is playing. She's playing for the Connecticut Sun. So I think just wanting to fade the Connecticut, the Chicago Sky offense. I do think that the Aces will be winning by 2 baskets at the end of the first half, and that would be my recommendation for the game. I want to play Aces early. First half would be my look. If I go to Money Baller, which I always talk about Money Baller, I go to Money Baller and I look at the Aces specifically in the first half. They are only, let's see. If I look at the Aces in the first half, they are not great. 5-7 against the number in the first half. But the Sky's a home dog. They're 4-4-1 against the number. As a home dog, they're 1-8 against the spread for the full game. So that definitely says to take Aces. I don't think I realized that. That is really bad. Let's get into a couple of the comments real quick. Let me just look at this guy. Yeah, 0-9 straight up, 1-8 against the number, losing by an average of 10 points per game. And the only one that they covered was the first game of the season against the Sun. So this is not the spot you want to back the Sky in. It says Aces. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. And I also like the Aces early too. Let's see. Let's go back up to the top. Justin says I had to jump on Aces over 168.5 and Aces over 88.5 team total full unit each. Okay, so you think points will be scored? I'm interested to see if Chicago gonna be able to keep up. That's what kept me off of this game. Off the total going up and over. You see some money coming into the under. Because interestingly enough, I know it's been because they've been playing against a lot better defenses, but the Aces also, I mean, you can see it here. I put it in the graphic. Their offensive rating last 5 games is 9th. I'm sorry, it's 10th. And that's what they do best, score the basketball. I think for the full season, Aces offensive rating is still number 2, 105.6. But last 5 games, 97.6, 10th rated offensive team, which is absolutely amazing. I don't think I've ever seen the Aces offensive rating over a 5-game span be the 10th rated offense. So yeah, that kept me off the over, but I hope you cash it, Justin. I'm not gonna touch it. John says Aces are not happy. We're going to get after this one. Yeah, I think so too, man. I do think so too. What up, Michael? Appreciate you for tapping in, bro. He says the Sun made it happen. Aces have no bench. Marquis says they need another big. That absolutely. But you know that what's crazy, Marquis, is this is the same way they won last year. They won without a bench. They won without another big. Well, I guess you could say Candace Parker went down. She got hurt, so she didn't play a big role at the end towards the end of the season. What else? Bitsy says Kennedy Carter over her 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists in his pocket. I mean, she's gonna have to play big if they're gonna keep it close. I couldn't agree with you there. I couldn't disagree with you there. John says he loved the show. Great research. Appreciate that, John. Aces will destroy the Sky today, Prestigious Prodigy says. I'm kind of with you here, Prestigious. I think I agree with that. What up to my guy Francis? Happy Sunday. We back today, bro. I like the Aces first half. Me too. We're aligned there for sure, Fred. Sky need to stop playing and play Maria Jefferson. So Zaira, Weatherspoon is like, she kind of gets stuck in her ways, man. She don't really change up her rotation unless things get real crazy. Easy says I'm leaning Aces first half and Sky Team total under 79.5. Yeah, I think that's those are the plays, man. And like Prop said right here, said Aces scare me. Seem like Chicago usually play well early, but can't finish games because they don't really have a closer. They kind of do though. Kennedy Carter should be the closer. They're just so inconsistent. I feel like they fight so hard throughout the game, they just run out of gas late. Real quick, let's look into that real quick. Let's see if that makes sense. So I want to see since the All-Star break, or since the Olympic break, I want to see how many points they're scoring in the fourth quarter specifically. All right, y'all bear with me for a second. All right, so all right, so since the Olympic break, fourth quarter specifically, the Chicago Sky are scoring 18.3 points per game, per fourth quarter in 4 games so far, which is the third fewest. Shooting 47% from the field, which actually ain't bad. That's actually third best. Maybe it's just pace. Second best rebounding team in the fourth quarter. But I bet you them threes ain't going in. Yeah, making a half a three, shooting 20% from the 3-point line, which is the second worst behind the Los Angeles Sparks, which we'll talk about in a second. Marquis says he's taking Jackie Young over 17.5 and Aces minus 8.5. Mark says, damn, I'm seeing Aces 9 juiced. Yeah, let's see. Best number you can get for the Aces right now, shout out to Odds Jam as always, is 9. No, you can get an 8.5 if you got ESPN Bet. I don't know if it's available to you in Texas, Mark, but you can get an 8. You can get 8.5 on ESPN Bet and on FanDuel. And see, a lot of places got both. See, DraftKings got a 9, but you can get it on FanDuel at minus 110. FanDuel actually got the best number, 8.5 minus 110. ESPN Bet got 15 cent of juice, and BetMGM got 15 cent of juice too. Dropping Dime says first half under 82.5. If we're expecting Sky to be scrappy. Yeah, I could see that. So this is what talks me off of that, though, Dropping Dimes. So I looked at the Aces. I told you guys this at the beginning of the show. I looked at the Aces when they're playing teams that have a 50% win percentage versus when they're playing against a team that does not have a 50% win percentage. So if they're playing a team that that has a losing record, they're 11-3 straight up. They're averaging 91 points per game. But if they're playing a team that does have a winning record, they're averaging 79 points per game. So because they're playing the Sky, and they score 85 against the Sky, and they score 95 against the Sky, that's what scares me off the first half going under. Makes sense. The research says Aces should cover, like Jackie Young assists, John says. Okay. Reese and Carter kill the Aces, can't stop speed, and Asia is the only rebounder. That's what scares me, Wayne. I'm right there with you. You make a valid point. What else? Christian says, so been noticing a trend as of late, teams that you think will win and should win and cover have been losing. I'm really thinking of taking the points with the Sky. Yeah, don't let me talk you up, Christian, because you're absolutely right. But Aces should, I think they roll in this spot though. 9 is a big number. It's a really, really big number. Kind of why I want to chop it in half, because I think they start the game off really, really good after losing to the Lynx 2 times in a row. Gray is not the same. That hurt the Aces. I agree. I think she had 3 points in the last, and one of those games versus the Lynx, she has looked terrible. Which is why I like Asia too. I forgot to mention that. Asia, just being off back-to-back losses, I think she has the highest usage in the WNBA right now against a team that lets bigs cook. Chicago is I think allowing the third most points to centers and power forwards, just bigs in general. I think Asia explodes today. She's gone under in back-to-back games. I know she had 24 in that last game versus the Lynx, and the game before that she had like 15 against the Lynx. And in the 2 games against Chicago this season, she had 28 and 14 because Cardoso can't guard her. Angel Reese can't guard her either. And then the game before that, the first time they played, she had 31 and 6. So it should be a big Asia Wilson game today. Her points prop sitting at 25 and a half, 26 and a half, depending on where you shop. I think it's 26 and a half, 27 and a half, depending on where you shop. And I looked into Asia too. She on the short list. I like Asia a lot today. Ball Talk says, I like the Sky here. Not as bad at scoring as they were earlier after the Olympic break. Put up 82 against Connecticut. Can't trust the Aces to win by double digits. Let me talk you off, Ball Talk. I think you can make a case for both, which is why I didn't play it. All right, let's move on to the next game. Robert says he got Asia for 30. I agree with that. Definitely agree with that. There should be a good spot for Kennedy Carter. Aces tend to let you down when you expect them to win. Just saying. Yeah, but I mean, the books were expecting them to win 2 games in a row. Eventually, they're gonna win. And to that point, I think this was the point that the Storm was in the other day. So when a team previously lost as a favorite, and they previously lost as a favorite, so 2 games, previously lost as a favorite, previously lost as a favorite, and then they are a favorite. They have not been doing well, to your point. Storm didn't cover in this spot the other day on the season, just 2-5 against the number, 4-2-1 to the under though. Not the strongest trend at all. Looking at these favorites who have been losing as favorites. That said that the game goes under though. 25-13 to the under. About 65% of the time games go under in this spot. Yeah. All right, let's go. Justin says, Chris, you got a promo for Caesars? If you sign up, I think it's in the description. It may be a promo in there for Caesars. Check out the link in the description, Justin. It should be a sportsbook referral link in there. Michael says, I think Angel points under, Cardoso rebounds under. Okay. Got some interesting opinions there. All right, let's go to the next game. And this is not a great game at all, but this is where I got a future bet on this game that I want to talk to you guys about. So Sparks and Wings line actually opened at 3 in favor of the Dallas Wings, and now it's up to 6. Is it still 6? Yeah, some 6.5s popping up as well. So 6.5, 6, 5.5, depending on, you just get the best number depending on what you like here. And the total is 168.5 to 169.5, depending on where you're shopping. So definitely shop around for that as well. All right, so jumping in this one, we got a Sparks team coming off 1 day's rest, 6th game for them since the Olympic break, and the last game of a 4-game road trip before they go back home to LA. And Sparks are interesting, man. I'm gonna talk about the Sparks a little bit, but the numbers on the right, on the left-hand side at the bottom are right. The last 5 games are the worst offensive rated team, 7th defensively, and the worst in net rating as well. Which is probably why money came in on the Wings in this spot, especially with the Wings coming off a relatively competitive game where they did cover. Could have had a chance to win against the Liberty the other day as well. 2 days rest for them, so rest advantage by a day. 4th game since the Olympic break, so also they played 2 less games than the Sparks. So it makes a lot of sense to take the Wings. However, defensively, still the worst rated team as they have been throughout the full season, and they still stink at home. 4-8 straight up, 3-9 against the number. And both of these teams have won 6 games. It's really difficult to tell me. All right, so it's actually hard to kind of explain this. But the Sparks specifically are not as bad as their record. They're not as bad as the numbers indicate. And what I mean when I say that is that if you watch the Sparks play, I watched them play last couple games. They just fall apart late. And some of that is like inexperience, and you got a whole bunch of young players and they're trying to figure it out. The other part of it is Kurt Miller don't want to win. I'm figuring it out. Kurt Miller does not want to win basketball games. The Sparks are not trying to win. And it was evident in that game against the Mystics the other day. So before I get there, let's go here. The difficult piece for me in this game, and I know you got Satu Sabu back. She missed the first 3 games when these two teams played. The Wings beat the Sparks in the first game in LA, beat them by 2, I think, beat them by 1, something like that. Since then, the Sparks have actually beaten the Wings twice, and the Sparks actually haven't won a game since they played the Wings, and they beat them in Dallas. So they won that game when they beat the Wings back on July the 13th. They beat Dallas 81-86, and that game stayed under the total of 171.5. The Wings, they've lost 3 straight back-to-back losses, but they have come against the Liberty and the Sun, all 3 of them. And you, like I said, you get the double revenge by here after winning that first game. Now back to the Sparks tanking. All right. So I think the Sparks, they want to get whoever they want to get. They want to have the most marbles in the draft lottery thing. In their last game versus the Mystics, they covered the first quarter. They actually won the first quarter. They covered the first half, and they were winning late into the third quarter. And Kurt Miller decided that he was going to rest his best players to make sure that they lost the game. They ended up losing the fourth quarter, 26-19. They lost the game by 6 and end up failing to cover because they lost the fourth quarter by 7. So not only, I don't know, he might have had a little bit of money on Washington minus the 5.5 too. When I did some deep digging, right, in their last 5 games since the Olympic break, the Sparks are averaging a league worst 34.6 points per game in the second half, and they're losing the second half by an average of 7 points per game. In the fourth quarter specifically, though, they're averaging a league worst 16.8 points per game per quarter in their last 5 since the Olympic break. And against the Mystics in the fourth quarter, De'Erica Hamby played less than 5 minutes. Azurá Stevens played 2 minutes. That tells me all I need to know about the Sparks. I don't think that they want to win the game. Now, in the first half, it does intrigue me. I think the Sparks can keep this one close because Kurt Miller will play the starters in the first half. So you can get a Sparks plus 3.5. I think it was on ESPN bet. It's a little juice, like minus 120. That's the way that I would look if I was going to play it. I don't really want to lay points with the Wings. They are a much better team. The spread's already moved 2 possessions. Where they're moving from 3 to 6. Dallas is 1-3 against the spread as a home favorite this season, and 13-15 against the number in the first half overall. You look at this Sparks team, they'll probably tank the game like they have been doing, but they can compete early, in my opinion. They're 10-5 against the number in their last 15 road games as a dog, and a perfect 3-0 in their last 3 since the Olympic break. So yeah, I think that they can keep the game close early. If they can cover and have a lead against the Washington Mystics, and cover against the Connecticut Sun, they definitely can cover against the Wings. So I think Sparks early, but I'm not looking towards them late in the game at all. Let's see what you guys are thinking before we jump into the future I want to talk about, and then we'll do a quick recap and get up off of here. Christian says, I'm thinking Sky does enough to keep it close. Aces win by like 2 or 3. Okay. Justin says he likes Satu over her 7.5 rebounds at plus 100. Let me talk you off of that at all. I like it. Dropping Dimes just called me crazy, but I got the Wings minus 3 yesterday, and I like the over. Mark says he's going to play Wings minus 6. I couldn't talk you guys off. I do think it's a wing spot, but the Sparks can compete. It would not surprise me if they competed early in this game. Christian says Wings all day. The lesser of the 2 evils. Sparks seem to have given up on the season. Also taking the under here, even though both teams' defense isn't good, but the Sparks don't score. Yeah, I mean, it's evident. It's evident right here. 12th rated offense last five games. So yeah, don't let me talk you off, Christian. He's the worst coach ever when he says he also got some bad injury luck, man. Like since I've been watching the WNBA when it started last season, they just Lexi Lexi Brown having Crohn's disease. She's going to continue to miss time. Cameron Brink got hurt earlier. It's just, man, it's bad. Christian likes Sparks team total under. Glenn says Dallas in the under. Mark says, you got me thinking live bet on wings early. If behind, absolutely, Mark. I will be live betting every team that is losing to the Sparks at halftime for the rest of the season. I did see this as well, TD. Says, does Odyssey Sims revenge game mean anything? It's just going to depend how many minutes she plays. She did sign a hardship contract, I think, for the rest of the season. And she should get some minutes because I think those guards will continue to remain out are McDonald and Lasia Clarendon. I think both of them are listed as game time decision. But Lasia Clarendon, I don't think she has played. She's missed 4 straight games. Ari McDonald has missed 5 straight games. And I think that's just the tank too, right? Like let's throw Crystal Dangerfield out there. It's a revenge game for her too. She also played for Dallas last season. So I don't know, man. I'm expecting Kurt Miller to pull a plug though. Even if De'Erica Hamby, Rakia Jackson, Stephanie Tolbert, Azare Stevens, even if they cook Dallas in the first half, I don't expect it to last at all. DJ Prop says Sparks are nasty work. Thanks for the numbers, man. It confirms what we thought. Yeah, I had to dig it up, Prop, but yeah, it's crazy what they doing right now, man. Ball Talk says been fading anything Kia Nurse related, but y'all know I don't rock with Coach Trammell. Wings if I had to. Yeah, I can't lay 6 with a team this bad on defense either. But if they're losing at halftime, I'll be looking their way. Justin says after listening to you, I might look at the Wings second half spread. If they're losing, I'll jump in on the Wings. If I can get a -1, plus some points, I'll be looking at them for sure. Nana says Sparks on the road is a no for me. They typically cover when they're getting big numbers. I think it's evident right there, 9-6 against the number. But these small numbers, not as much. And to put some numbers to that real quick, let's just look at that. I think I looked into it last game. So if I look at, if I just look at the Sparks as a road dog and then not getting double digits, all right, so Sparks is a road dog. They are, I did wrong, hold on here. All right, so Sparks is a road dog. You guys can see 9-6. I keep spelling the season wrong. 9-6 against the number. If the Sparks are getting more than 10 points, they're double-digit dog. 7-2 against the number. They lost all 9 of them, but 7-2 against the number. If they're getting less than 10 points, 2-5 against the number. So yeah, there you go. Losing by an average of about 7 points, and this line is at 6 today. So yeah, they also 4-2-1 to the under. They've gone under their team total in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 7 games when they're less than a double-digit favorite on the road this season as well. So drop that in real quick. Juju is, I think she will be draft eligible, Ball Talk. I think she will. It'll only be her sophomore year at USC. Glenn says it's moving to 6.5 now. So let's jump to the future bet, and it involves the Sparks. I locked this in this morning. I'm gonna send it out to the members when I get done with the show. Sparks, right? So stay with me. Sparks win total right now. Sparks are, if we just go back, 6-22 straight up. Their win total right now is 8.5, which means that they got to win 3 more games this season. 11 games left in the season. I put the schedule right here on the right-hand side so you guys can see it. Can the Sparks win 3 games to get over and get to 9 wins on the season? I say no. All right, so looking a little bit deeper, 5 of the 11 games that they have left, including today's game against the Dallas Wings, is on the road. They've only won 2 of their 15 games on the road so far. They're 2-13. Outside of the game against Dallas today, every other team that they're going to play is a playoff team. And they got 3 games versus teams jockeying for playoff position. So if you look right in here, if they lose to Dallas today, they got New York on deck for Wednesday. That's a loss. Not going to lose to, I don't think they're going to beat the Liberty. The 3 games against teams jockeying for playoff position, Atlanta desperately needs to win every game. So I think Atlanta beats them. And Atlanta's been playing a lot better since Jordan Canada came back and Ryan Howard, of course. Then they got Indiana, who also lost last night, and Chicago. These are the 3 teams kind of jockeying for position right here. After they finish those 3 games, they got games against the better teams with the better records. Connecticut twice, Seattle as well, twice. And then they finish the season off with the Phoenix Mercury and the Minnesota Lynx. We already mentioned them trying to, wanting to get the most ping pong balls. It does not set up well for this team. I don't see 3 wins here. Only home team they play in their remaining schedule without a winning record is the Atlanta Dream. So those home games against Phoenix, Seattle, who will get who will get Gabby Williams back in the game tomorrow against the Washington Mystics. I think they're gonna be turned up to end the season, and it's terrible for the Sparks. I also looked at last thing I want to mention. I looked at the Sparks and the games that they actually won. The WNBA is kind of janky at times. So not that they can't win a game, but they beat the Mystics. That was of course before Shakira Austin came back and Brittany Sykes was hurt. They beat the Fever before Caitlin Clark turned into the Caitlin Clark that we know now. They got 2 wins against the Wings already. Neither one of them came with Satu Sabali. And then they beat the Aces because Dearica Hamby just does not like the Aces. And they always turn up for those games. I don't see 3 more wins, man. I just don't. So I bet the Sparks win total under 8.5. You can actually get it at plus money on DraftKings, plus 105. Sparks regular season win total under 8.5. Like I said, 11 games left. Can they win 3? I don't think so. I don't think they go 3-8. I think they go, honestly, they may not win another game, in my opinion. Now they have incentive too as well because the Dallas Wings and the Minnesota and the Washington Mystics also have a very, very similar record. So those are my thoughts there. Let's see. Bissy says, damn, 120 people in here, only 30 likes. Come on, folks, hit the like button, man. Appreciate that, Bissy. Appreciate you for shouting that out. That's a fact, Ball Talk. Both of those young ladies, I know Juju from LA, so she probably can't wait to play with the Sparks. Rakia Points is a good look. I can't take any player props for the Sparks because I don't know what Kurt Miller going to do with the rotation, but don't let me talk you off. He says, even if the Sparks give up on the season, she's a rookie and still has something to prove. You can't prove it if you're sitting on the bench, though, Java. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm with you. It makes a lot of sense. She also had a really big game against Dallas in her last game. I remember Rakia Jackson killing them. I think her best game of the season actually came against this very team. Rakia is a hooper. Don't get that twisted. Let's see. That game against Dallas, she had 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. I remember this game. She was boasting a little bit after it. 23 points is her season high, her career high against the Dallas Wings. So don't let me talk you off. She played 29 minutes in that game, and that was before they got Azare Stevens too. But yeah, don't let me talk you off. Big Zan says, do you think a future bet on the Lynx to win it all is at plus 650 is good? Yeah, I think it's only going to get shorter. Big Zans. You could have got a much better number. I think they were plus 900 like 2 days ago, but they just keep winning. They've won every game since the Olympic break. The only team to go undefeated so far, 5-0. And even on the second leg of that back-to-back against the red hot, Indiana Fever team, they still smoked them. So I don't think the odds going to get any better is what I'm saying. Ball Talk says, yeah, this is crazy future bet, but I'm telling, dropping dimes. I saw this too. It was only available on FanDuel when I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning. But Storm -7.5. They're gonna smoke the Washington Mystics, in my opinion, tomorrow. I know it's the first game back home after that long, I think it was a 3 or 4 game road trip. But with Gabby out there, I think they win by double digits easily. And I watched the Gabby Williams press conference too. Sounds like she is in Seattle, so she's gonna play in that game. And I think they're gonna beat the brakes up of them. So I'm probably gonna lock that in today as well. Just want to wait on the injury report, but I expect that line to be gone. 7.5 won't be available, I don't think. Java says, by the way, Chris, what's up with Hamby? You think she's intentionally not scoring to tank or just off due to the lawsuit? I don't know, man. Her points probably down to 15.5, though. I did look at that this morning as well, because you always want to play overs against the Wings. The defense is so bad, but like I said, Kurt Miller they're not trying to win games. So I don't know exactly what's going on with Hamby. I know they've been playing against some a little bit better defenses, I guess. You could, kind of credit that. Connecticut, she didn't do much against the Aces in the last game, but the Aces had that one circled because Asia kind of came out and said that after the game. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Hamby, man. What's up, Cup of Joe? Absolutely, Mark. We're gonna bet the Sparks to keep sucking, and I absolutely think that they will. Just for us. It's like, nah, actually it's probably gonna be for whoever they can get in the draft. Brad says, I like your fade, Spark. I like your fade, Sparks. Peace. Dallas and Vegas first half money line. I don't do parlays. We had an off night yesterday, so tailing whatever you want today. Seattle might win it all with Gabby. So Seattle, I think plus 1,600 to win the championship, to win the WNBA championship. Ball talk. They need her offense more than her defense, I think. But I mean, she's gonna turn up on defense. I think her defense is better than her offense. She immediately becomes a top 5 defensive player in the WNBA with her just returning, to an already really good, solid defensive team. But her athleticism, her ability to be able to get to the cup, especially with Skylar Diggins-Smith playing so poorly on the road. I think they'll play, off each other and play really, really well. I think she's gonna help a lot, but I think her offense is gonna be needed. Looking at the Storm, their offense just really, really struggled in their last few games on the road, and it's telling because they've been a really good home team, not so much on the road. I think they're barely 500 on the road. That is not even against the spread. That's straight up. So I think that's helped a lot. Robert says, I've told everybody, Chris, LA shady, and Hamby gives me Porter vibes. I've said that to you all year. Okay. Justin says he's gonna tell that under on the Sparks, but gotta wait till after the game and accept if they lose. But yeah, I was thinking that too. I think the books, Justin, actually have this probably as a game that they can win. So if the Sparks lose, if the Sparks lose this game, you won't get the plus money. It might actually drop down to 7.5 because this will be the last time that the Dallas Wings will play a team with a losing record outside of the Atlanta game. All the rest of their opponents got, not just barely over Chicago. Chicago got a losing record, and Indiana might have a losing record too, but they've been much better. The only other game I think is winnable is the game against Chicago, actually. But yeah, they got cream of the crop. These are top 5 teams that they got for the rest of the season. So yeah, I think so. Jabba says, you think Dallas gave up too? Thinking if player props are shady on both sides. Nah, Coach Tremble gonna play her players into the dirt. Satu Sabli got a lot to play for. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think they've given up. I don't think they've given up at all. If anything, they probably trying to just get a good taste in their mouth, especially after losing and not being healthy throughout the season. The Dallas Wings a little bit better than their record, in my opinion, without Satu being there. Now she's kind of working herself back in. She had a couple 20-point games. She should go crazy today. Her, Enrique playing against one of the worst defenses in the W. Even though I don't like her, she could go crazy today. So I think Dallas wins the game. I just don't think that they covered, but I think Coach Tremble gonna lead the players out there for sure. I don't think Dallas is tanking quite yet. And Justin says, what if the Sparks win today? I'm banking on them not winning today though, Justin. I don't think they're gonna beat Dallas, which is why I think you'll get a better number if they do win. but I don't think that they're going to beat Dallas. Even if the game's close, I think they'll, like I said, Kurt Miller will pull the starters. They're not going to win 3 more games, in my opinion. All right, so quick recap before we jump off of here, man. Sparks under 8.5 wins. Like I said, only place I saw it available this morning was on DraftKings, and I played it. I locked it in on DraftKings. I'm going to send it out to the members. I like Asia over her 26.5 points today as well. I kind of talked about her dominating the matchup against the Chicago Sky earlier this season, as nothing's changed. You know, Cardosa still gonna get that work today, and Asia going back-to-back in 2 games that they lost to Minnesota, going back-to-back losses and under on her player prop as well. Getting outplayed by Nafisha Collier in that last game, I think probably gonna light a fire under Asia over 26.5 after she has already scored. I think what did I tell you guys earlier? She had 28 and 31 in the first 2 matchups against Chicago this season. And I think the Aces early is the better look as well. Just coming off the back-to-back losses, I think they come out with a sense of urgency. And they're not playing against the Lynx, so it should be a little bit easier for them. So I like Aces first half. And for all of the bad stuff that I did say about the Sparks, I'm a realist. I'm not laying points with Dallas. Like I said, LA is one of the better first half teams in the WNBA, and I'm not laying with Dallas early. So if I had to make a play in that game, I would be looking towards the Sparks early in that game. I don't think that they win, but I do think that they could cover early. I gave you guys the numbers already. The Sparks are 10-5 against the number in their last 15 road games, 3-0, perfect 3-0 against the spread in the first half in their last 3 since the Olympic break as well. And Dallas is 13-15 against the number in the first half, and only 1-3 against the number when they're a home favorite as well. So this is how I'm kind of looking at the games. We'll be back tomorrow. Also, I'll be doing an NFL preview show. I know I keep saying I'm going to, but I'll be putting out some NFL preview shows today and tomorrow because the season right around the corner. I've been doing all the homework and the research, but just haven't been able to put the show together. So appreciate everybody for tapping in as always. Quick, resources that I always share here. If you guys are interested, just, pause the video. You can go back and check these out if you're new. But, same ones I talk about every single day. Moneyballer.com. I'm always using that website because there's so many different great, angles to handicapping the games over there. And you can do it on your phone. So I love that. And there's a promo code if you guys are interested in checking out Moneyballer. It's more than just WNBA. It's NFL is going to be on there. They got NBA when NBA season comes. If you're looking for MLB action, they got MLB as well. So definitely check them out. You guys sign up, you get 10% off your first month using code ChrisBeCappinn, 2 P's and 2 N's. Always got to shout out my guy, my favorite sports betting software, which is OddsJam. Sportsbook screen page saved me so much time, man. And that's why I think it's a really good investment. So definitely check out OddsJam. There's a promo code for OddsJam as well. Get 25% off your first month using code CBC. If you guys are still watching, do me a favor, hit the like button. If you found the show helpful, hit the like button. Link for all my official plays. Share the show as well. Subscribe if you guys are new. Link for all my official plays is in the description of the video. Bet responsibly. And I'll catch you guys in a few if you're interested in NFL. Because like I said, I'll be coming back on here doing another preview for NFL moving forward. I'm out. Enjoy your Sunday, man.